What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Fantasy Files Podcast, the podcast that wastes hours of your life that you're never getting back. We are your co-hosts, Spencer and Sam. Sam is back from hiatus. Everybody welcome her back down in the comments. We're going to be talking about, we're just going to be catching up. We're going to be talking about just a bunch of stuff, what's been going on the past few weeks and what we've been watching and reading and doing. Hope you guys will enjoy that. I've been branching out a lot, so you'll be able to hear about some books that aren't necessarily fantasy, but that I've really enjoyed. We'll just be hanging out. Links are down in the description, Twitter, Discord, Patreon, where you can watch these episodes live as we record them, and see them weeks ahead of when YouTube gets them. So it's a good deal. You get to talk to us live. There's a comment section, a live comment section, and you get to chat with us while we record. That being said, we also have SpeakPipe. And this is a new app that allows you to, follow the link in our description to our SpeakPipe, and you can leave us a voice message, and you can leave your comments and questions or criticisms or whatever you want to put in there, and we will play them on the podcast and answer them. So, that's basically it for the spiel. I think upcoming episodes we were just talking about this backstage, and we think kind of the next series that we're really going to sink our teeth into is the Farseer Trilogy by Robin Hobb. So I know a lot of you guys are fans of that series. I've read the first two books and really enjoyed them. So, and I don't think Gabe has read any of them. So that'll be a fun discussion. I think it'll be similar to our Gentlemen Bastards series that we did. Yeah. They're not like similar stories, but they're similarly beloved by the fans, and they kind of have that just like very, very good like dialogue and storytelling and characters that you grow to love. And so I think we'll kind of have similar experiences with that. I was listening to Friends Talking Fantasy the other day, Dylan and Charles, and they finally got to the second book in the Gentleman Bastard series, and I'm like, oh, this one's my favorite. And Dylan had read them before, and Charles, and we got to be careful of spoilers here, but Dylan had read them before, Charles hadn't, and in the second book, Charles like, yeah, I just keep hearing about this Samantha character, and she never, or Sabitha character, and she never pops up, and I'm just like, I'm wondering if we're ever gonna see her, and Dylan's like, that's a very good question, Charles.
Tell Charles not to read the description of book 3 before you get into it, and ruin it.
Yep, absolutely.
I will never get over that. I think that's going to be one of my biggest grievances until the day I die, because huge buildup, and then it's all spoiled in the synopsis on the back of the book.
Yep. Yeah, I don't think anybody should read, like, after you know that you like a series, I don't think you should read the backs of the book anymore. Like, I think, like, for me, with the Dresden Files, the new book comes out in January, and I'm kind of at the point where I'm like, I don't need to know anything about it. I don't need, like, as much as I do that for, news on the channel here because I'm a YouTuber, there's also, like, I'm like, I don't want to know anything. I know that I'm going to love the book. I know that I'm going to enjoy it. The new King's Dark Tidings comes out November 11th, the same day that Empire of the Dawn comes out. And I'm like, guys, how am I supposed to choose between some of my two favorite books? Like, you're coming out on the same day? Are you kidding me? But I don't want to know anything about either of those books.
Yeah.
Like I know that I'm gonna enjoy both of them. And so I just would rather not like know any description or anything.
Yeah, and we'll be getting the new Will of the Many follow up that month too in
Yeah,
November.
so that actually comes out
When does it come out?
I think it comes out in October. I think we're getting that sooner.
Oh, really?
Strength. Yeah. Strength of the Few release date. Oh no, Strength of the Few comes out November 11th. It's Empire of the Dawn comes out in October.
Wait,
Empire
what?
of the Dawn comes out October 28th, and then Strength of the Few comes out on November 11th uh with King's Dark Tidings. So when Empire of the Dawn comes out, we'll have to like start reading that day,
Yes,
and
I would
then
regardless.
yeah, and then record like whatever that next weekend is, so that I can be able to read King's Dark Tidings on November 11th. But but yeah, I'm super I mean, we have a great winter ahead of us. Like those are three rock star books.
Yeah.
Um and then shortly after the new year in January, we get our new Dresden Files book, which Gabe and I are very excited about as well. But anyways, with all that said, how are you doing? You've been on hiatus for a bit. I won't it's not my business to say why, but you've had some stuff going on, and I know
Yeah,
you kind of took a break. How was the break refreshing?
it was. And I mean, like, I've been pretty open about everything that has been going on. Obviously, not here, so I'll just give, a short
Sure.
summary of
If you
my,
want to. You don't have
yeah,
to.
my youngest sister. She was 21. She unfortunately passed away from an accidental overdose back in May. And it's just kind of, thrown our whole family into upheaval. I lost my dad 8 years ago, and now my youngest sister. And, you know, people don't know the dangers of huffing, and it seems to be on the rise, which is really, really
Yeah.
scary in a lot of ways. But we've been doing a lot with my sister's passing.
Hmm.
My mom works for this company, and it's a very big company here in Connecticut, and they were able to speak with their insurer, Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield. My sister had passed away when she was waiting to get authorization to go into a new treatment center. And they got it set up with Anthem that now anybody who is in her company's health plan, if they're ever in crisis and need like immediate treatment, they will waive the waiting period. There will be no approval needed. So that's been really good. Did an overdose awareness event last weekend, which was really, really nice. And we like had, pictures, and we had this sign that said like, ask me about huffing, to like
Hmm.
explain to the dangers of it to people. And so we're just slowly trying to figure out what is unfortunately a new normal for us. It's left a
Yeah.
pretty big hole in our lives. But we're trying to, do something positive with what's happened. So that's why I was
Yeah.
gone. I needed a little bit of time just to
Yeah.
get my own mental health back in its usual state. So I'm feeling
Yeah.
really good. My husband and I went on vacation. It was
Yeah.
something that was years overdue and much needed.
Yeah.
And so I'm feeling good, and I'm happy to be back.
That's cool. Was the vacation planned like before that, or was that kind of in reaction like, hey, let's just get away?
I think my husband, like, he had already known that I was kind of like at wit's end of like, I need a break. I hadn't taken a vacation in the 3 years I've been at my current job.
Yeah.
And I think after that, he was just kind of like, all right, like this is it. Let's do it. We had recently come into a tiny bit of extra money. And so we were like, we're putting this aside. This is what we're doing with it. And it was just the two of us. We went for 7 days. My son was with my in-laws. And, it was just, I hadn't realized like how much I really missed having a vacation.
Yeah.
Having something to look forward to is great for when you're at work day to day, and then you get the break and you come back refreshed and you're ready to go. And so it was really, really good for my mental health.
That's good. Yeah, vacations are very necessary, I think. I don't think we realize a lot of times how much kind of stress that we're holding on to, and then, even just getting, if it's like Thursday, Friday, and then the weekend, just getting like those extra couple days
Mm-hmm.
off, really, really help. They're seriously needed. But yeah, I'm glad that you're feeling better, and
Yeah.
I know that was a really tough time.
Mm-hmm.
I've had friends that have passed away in my life, but there was one that was like significantly more
Yeah.
impactful than the other ones. And during that time, I thought I was used to the idea of people dying, and then when something like that happens, someone who's that close to you dies, it is significant, and it really messes with you.
Mm-hmm.
So I certainly understand. You know, I don't understand like everything because I didn't
No,
know
but
you
yeah, I
guys
know
together, but you know what I mean.
what
Yeah.
you mean. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm glad you're feeling better. Speaking of vacations, I went on one recently too. Do you know about this, Sam?
No, where did you go?
I went to Seattle to get my new tattoo.
You did. You did. Shut up. Let me see. Oh my god. Oh my god, you did it. Oh my god, that's exactly like you had showed me. That's amazing.
Yeah, it
Oh my god, that looks
yeah.
great.
I initially was gonna get it here, and then he started playing around with it, and he's like, I think it looks better back here.
I like where it's
Um,
placed. It looks good.
yeah, and so I have a more clear picture to show you guys. There, on the left there is kind of like the overall picture, and then this is on the right is some of the stuff that you can't see in the first picture. But yeah, I think it came out pretty good. I'm
Yeah,
pretty happy
oh,
with it.
amazing.
I was in the chair for 7 hours, almost 7 hours, six and a half, and I blacked out in the middle of it.
You
Um,
blacked out.
yeah, I hadn't eaten anything because I had gotten up at like 5 in the morning, and I'm like, I got up at like 5 in the morning. The dog walker showed up. She like comes by for Hank whenever I go on vacation. And so I meet with her for a second, and then I run off to the airport. I hop on my plane, and I, every step along the way, I keep thinking, oh, I'll eat when I get to the next
Yeah,
place. I'll eat
yeah,
when I get to the next place. And finally, I get off the plane, and I have to hop on a little light rail thing to
yeah.
to get up to where the tattoo is. And I keep thinking, I'm like, oh, I'll find something in between the light rail and where I have to walk for the tattoo. And I couldn't really find anything. Like, there was
Uh,
nothing on the way that was like, there was no point where it's like, oh, this is a good place to stop real quick to grab a
mhm.
bite. There just wasn't like anything well placed.
Yeah.
And I found out later that right across from the tattoo studio is it was like a pizza by the slice place. And I
Mhm,
should have just stopped there. I didn't know it existed at the
mhm,
time. But I wish I had stopped there because not eating before a tattoo is one of the worst things you can do.
mhm.
And luckily I had water, and I had a couple granola bars, but it makes everything worse if you haven't eaten. The pain is worse. You get super lightheaded. And so I got halfway through this thing, and if it had been on the front of my arm, it wouldn't have been that bad because, there's like muscle there and that kind of stuff, and it's not or the other option was like up on my shoulder, which would have been really easy. But he decided that the back of the arm looked good, and I agreed, and I didn't think about how sensitive a spot that is. Like, if you think of like the parts of your body that you touch and you can kind of feel a nerve tingle a little bit, like a funny bone sensation. It's, those are like your sensitive areas that are not gonna feel great. Hey, what's up, Nova? Sam is back.
Hey, Nova! I was just thinking about you. That's so funny.
She said she was reading something you recommended.
Oh, the Skolomance series. It's by
Oh,
Naomi Novik.
yeah.
It's one of my favorite series ever. It's a 3-book series. It's the way that Naomi Novik writes about magic and like her science behind it, why everything works, is the best I've ever read in anyone. Like, it actually makes sense. You're like, oh, that makes sense how their
Yeah.
magic works. And it's just about all these kids who have to go to this school that's in a black void and they have to stay there for 4 years. They never get to leave. And I mean, I've reread it so many times.
Oh, cool.
They're so good. And it's a complete 3 books and done.
Is this Deadly Education? Is
Yeah,
that what that is?
That's it. Mm-hmm.
I've tried to start the first book so many times, but it's really for me it was really dense. And I was kind of like, each time I'm like trying to break through, and each time I get a little bit further, but I need to just like dedicate and like just sit there and get through it because I'm sure it'll make sense eventually. But
it's very
um,
dialogue heavy, like inner
yeah,
dialogue of the main
hmm
character, but there is
yes,
a reason for all of it.
right.
So yeah, but I do know what you mean, because sometimes you're like, oh wow, this has been like 20 minutes and nothing has actually happened. It's just been like the thoughts in your head.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. She'll have like these big inner monologues talking about this other guy who's also kind of the star of the school and like he saved my life, but why? And I
Well,
don't know.
she's kind of like a main character who's angry and she's not popular, and there's reasons behind everything, but it's just I love those books. I love them so
Yeah.
much.
I really want to break through and get into it.
Yeah,
Um,
they're great. But I've just never read an author write about magic in such a way that I'm like, all of this makes sense. This could totally be real.
right. Yeah, I want to get to that.
Yeah,
I want to get to the point where I'm like understanding the magic
yeah.
system. But yeah, the guy is confusing why she hates. Yeah, I couldn't understand why she hated him. But I'm sure it explains it eventually. Um, yeah, so anyway, I'm like on the table getting this tattoo and I haven't eaten anything and I like blacked out right in the middle of it and I just like blacked out for like 20 minutes. And then at some point he was like, "Hey, do you want to split this into 2 sessions? This is kind of a big tattoo." Because I wasn't like I wasn't like moving or anything, but he knew I was in a lot of pain.
Yeah.
Which is funny because my other 2 tattoos like didn't hurt at all, so I didn't expect this to hurt that much. Um, and I'm like, no, I'm like, I don't know when I'm gonna be back. I flew out here for this tattoo.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know when I'm gonna be back out here. And I'm like, I just gotta sit and do it. And so yeah, he just stayed the course and kept going and um yeah, no, I told him to eat before the tattoo, I swear.
I've never gotten one, so I don't really know the
Yeah,
ins and outs of it in any way. So
you have to eat. I will never not do it again. And looking back on it, I should have texted him and been like, "Hey, I'm gonna be a little late. I gotta eat something." And he was such a nice guy. His name is Nate Leslie in Seattle. He works at Super Genius Tattoos. Highly recommend him. Obviously, I'm so happy with this tattoo. But and he's the nicest guy, so he would have been like, "Of course, like go eat."
yeah.
But I was just like, "Oh, I'm running late. I can't. I don't have time." So yeah, anybody who's getting a tattoo, even if it's a small tattoo, just eat beforehand because right from the beginning, like even the first like hour or two, I was like, this doesn't feel good like how my other tattoos felt. And I really think it's just because I ate before them. I think it makes a huge difference. Um, Yeah, Nova says upper thigh hurts, which is surprising because I would think that that would be like you have a lot of like meat there. Um, yeah, back of the arm and upper thigh hurt a lot. I was like blacking out from pain on my thigh. Interesting. I would have thought it would have been the calf that would hurt more.
I heard the
Um,
ribs hurt like the worst
Oh
though,
yeah,
right?
can you
Yeah.
imagine? I see so many girls with the birds or the stars that go up the ribs
Yeah.
or just like the wavy lines that kind of like tribal that go up the ribs and I'm like, I don't know how you guys do that. Like it's so popular. I just could not. I could not do it. Um, but yeah, I'm super happy with it, and it's King's Dark Tidings. It's a tattoo for King's Dark Tidings, so I'm so excited. It's still in the healing process,
Mhm.
and I have actually a client of mine that they're just like good friends at this point. I'm going over there to work on some stuff for them, and they're gonna take some like professional pictures of the tattoo, and then I'm gonna send it to Calcade because because she has a fan art part of her website,
Mhm.
and I told her this was like a year ago. I was like, I'm getting a King's Dark Tidings tattoo. Would you put it up in your fan art thing? She's like, oh my God. She's like, I would love to. And so I'm
That's
so excited for
amazing.
it to like heal and send her the picture of the tattoo and get it on the fan art page.
That's amazing.
It's good to hear that the calf didn't hurt because my next tattoo is going to be a Dexter tattoo, and that goes into something I'll talk about a little bit later. I'll let Sam chat for a little bit, but I have a calf tattoo that I'm planning, and it's gonna be it's gonna be from Dexter, and it's gonna be the knife that he used. There's like a specific knife that he uses, and so it's gonna be the knife, and then inside the knife is gonna be his boat that he like
Yeah,
drops
all the
bodies
bodies
off
with.
of. Yeah. And it's gonna be like the like a Miami like sunset in the knife, like
Yeah,
inside the blade. And then there's
that
gonna
would be
be
cool.
like a banner at the top and bottom that say tonight's the night. I'm like, oh, I'm so excited for it. I'm such a super fan. Um, but yeah, I'm excited for that one. So, Sam, what have you been up to? Let's start with do we want to start with what we've been watching or what we've been reading?
Dealer's choice. Which one would you prefer?
Let's go
Maybe
watching.
watching. Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like everything just ended, which has been
Yes.
really disappointing.
I know. Everything's gone.
Everything's done and over with. I mean, I watched the old
Succession just
days.
ended, right?
Succession's been done for like a year or two now.
Oh,
Succession
really? Okay. Yeah,
with the
I don't know.
family.
I've only seen a couple episodes of it.
Oh, I loved Succession, but that ended like I would say at least a year ago, probably.
I had a really hard time getting into it. I was like it's like the dad I was like literally 2 or 3 episodes in where the dad's in the hospital and they're all arguing over who's gonna be the CEO. And I'm sure this like goes somewhere eventually, but right now I'm like I don't care about any of the characters. None of them are likable, and I don't care who the like I don't care about this business. Like I don't care about business. And so it was all like very like it was just like a business show like Suits. And I was like it's just not like I don't know. I've had so many people tell me to stick with it and so I'm like I'm going to try. I'll give it another shot because I know that it's one of like people have it's won awards and stuff, but I'm just like I'm just not there yet.
Yeah.
But I wish I was. I wish I was.
My husband really liked it. I don't know that I would have kept watching it like week by week,
Mm,
keeping up with it, but yeah, it was good overall. The
yeah.
Institute. I don't know if I've watched The Institute.
It's based on a Stephen King book, and it's about kids with special powers that get taken to this institute and they have to stay there, and they're like experimented on, and
That sounds
um,
amazing. What's it on? Does it stream on anything?
yeah, I think it's
Oh,
is
it's
it
on Prime.
HBO? Yeah, it's on Prime. Okay, yeah.
Oh, I'll have to watch that.
Yeah,
That
Nova.
sounds amazing.
Yeah, Nova's been hooked on it.
Thank you for that, Nova, because I am definitely in like a major dry spell right now. I haven't been watching like a ton of TV shows necessarily, more a lot of documentaries. I've been watching a ton of documentaries. An amazing one was released on last Friday on Amazon. It was this catfish story of these two young kids who were tormented for years with these anonymous text messages. They couldn't figure
Hmm.
out who it was. I'm not going to ruin what the spoiler is, but like
Yeah.
there's a huge reveal on who it ends up being, and I would bet my life that nobody could guess who the person was. Excuse me. And so that was really. Excuse me. Oh, we were talking
You're
about
okay.
allergies earlier, and
Yeah.
so that one was really good. There's a new Betrayal season out. That's a really good documentary.
Hmm.
Trying to think, what were all the shows that just finished recently? What about you? It'll probably make
Well,
me
no,
remember.
Nova also says Foundation just came out with a new season. Have you seen Foundation on Apple?
No.
Yeah, apparently that's a really good one. That's probably the show that I'll start now that some of these other shows have ended. Um, but the the Terminal List. Did you ever see that show with Chris Pratt?
No, my husband watched it though. He really liked
Yeah,
it. He
it
really liked
was
it.
it was extremely good. And at the end of the season, I was like, okay, I need season two, like right now. Like, I need to know what happens. So it ends. I wait 3 years for season two. And the other day, I finally see a thing pop up, The Terminalist, Dark Wolf. And I'm like, oh my god, they finally came out with a new season. I'm so excited to watch it. I get some beer. I'm heading home. And then I find out, Sam. I find out it's a fucking prequel of the events that happened before. And I think Chris Pratt is in it, but it's like mostly these other
Yeah.
characters.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, you motherfuckers. Oh my god.
That would get me so mad. That would
I
get me
was
so mad.
so pissed. I'm like, I waited 3 years for this goddamn show, and it's a prequel? Are you kidding
And
me?
it's a prequel. Are you
Oh my god. I could not believe it. I'm like, the balls on you guys.
3 years, and this is what you give me.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Uh, you know what's funny though? Have you seen Invincible? The show Invincible?
Oh yeah. Yeah, the
Yeah.
animated series.
Yeah.
Love Invincible.
Dude, it is so good. I I watched season 1 back when it first came out in like 2020.
It was a while ago, yeah.
Yeah. And then I waited, I think it was like 3 years or 4 years before they put out season 2.
It was a very long time.
Yeah, and I was so pissed. And I'm like, when season 2 came out, I was like, nope. I'm like, I'm not watching it. I'm like, you burnt that bridge. You waited way too long between seasons. I don't care anymore. Like, you guys, like that show should just, die and burn. And I was so pissed. And then I had this year I had some major surgery on my mouth, and I was home for like a week, and
Mhm,
I just had nothing to do. And so I'm just like watching shows, and I
mhm,
see Invincible pop up, and I'm like, maybe I see what season two is all about. Turns out, in the past year, both season two and season three had come out. And so I binged all of them.
mhm.
And I was like, this is one of the greatest shows of all time. Like, it is so good. I could not stop watching it. I was staying up until like 4 or 5 in the morning watching episodes because I
Yeah.
could not stop. Um, and I made it all the way through season 3, and the finale of season 3 is just like literally one of the greatest things I've seen on television ever. And so it was phenomenal. So I highly recommend Invincible to anybody out there. Have you seen all the way through season 3?
I don't remember if we finished it fully. I'm not
Okay.
sure. Have you seen the new Superman though?
Yeah, I hated it.
You hated it?
Yeah.
I didn't hate it. I thought it was cute, like it
Yeah.
wasn't terrible.
It was just like too goofy, and I was like David Cornsweet just seemed like very aloof and very like just kind of like dumb as Superman. And I was like, I don't know. I'm like, I grew up with like Henry Cavill as Superman. And so I'm like, it's really hard for David Cornsweet to come in and just like do a very different take on the Superman that I know and love. Um, and and yeah, I would have I tell people this and they're like, "What?" But if I had not been there with a good friend, like my buddy was like, "Hey, let's go to the theater. I really want to see Superman."
Mhm.
And if I hadn't been in the theater with him, I would have walked out.
Oh, you're crazy.
Yeah.
You're
I
crazy.
did not like it at all.
I thought it was fine. I mean, I loved Thunderbolts. That one was one that I fucking loved. I thought that was an amazing movie. I can't wait to see like what the follow up with that'll be. I still need to see Fantastic Four.
I've heard
Um,
that's really good.
yeah, I haven't had a chance to see that yet.
Yeah.
But I did also see the new Mission Impossible. I love the Mission
Oh,
Impossible
I gotta watch
movies.
that too. I
It
gotta
was
watch
good,
that.
even though I don't really like Tom Cruise outside of his,
Sure. Yeah.
movies. It was a great movie. I just love all the Mission Impossible movies. I love the drama and the big
Hmm.
stunts that he does. So that
Yeah.
was a good one, and you could tell it was the final one, like wrapping
Yeah.
everything up.
It
So
was the final one.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I gotta watch. The only reason I didn't see it is because I need to watch the previous two. So
Okay.
I need to start those so that I can wrap all that up because I love Mission Impossible. I really
Yeah,
really do.
they were really good. Yeah. The other thing, what did I watch? I watched The Gilded Age. I know you're not watching The Summer I Turned Pretty. I watched all of season one. I have not watched the subsequent series seasons that have come out, but I did watch season one.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. She's been super into it.
I did watch, I think it was called We Were Liars or We Are Liars. That was another Amazon one. And
Oh,
it's a one season. I don't know if they'll do a second. Um, but the reveal in the final episode, it was one of those reveals that I don't know how I missed what the reveal was, and it made me want to rewatch it again immediately to see how I had
really?
missed the signs. Yeah, it was good. It was really good.
Okay. I will have to. Oh, Rahul Kohli is in it. That's cool.
It had a
Um,
decent amount of people in it that you would know. But yeah, I found it really interesting. There's kind of this whole question the whole time of like, what's going on? Like, what is really happening here? And then
i-
there's just this huge reveal in the final episode, and you're just like, what?
is
What?
it like suspense or what is it?
Uh, yeah, it's like a drama, but like you can tell there's like an undertone the whole time of like secrets being hidden, and you don't know what they are.
Okay, so it's drama, mystery, kind of.
Kind of, but it's got a very big reveal at the end that makes you want to immediately rewatch from the beginning because it
Interesting.
changes everything of what you just watched.
Wow. Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, it was good.
Okay, I might have to try it.
Yeah, I haven't been watching tons of TV because I've been playing so much Fortnite, Spencer. I
What?
I don't. My
I'm
husband and I
so disappointed in you.
we got into it like 8 months ago, maybe at most. Like my son was playing, and my husband was like, "Dude, Cooper's killing it. Like he's just killed like 8 people in this one match, and I'm competitive." So I was like, "Well, I want to play. I want to see how
Yeah.
I can do." And I mean, last season I think I got up to like level 400 something. It was
Whoa.
insane. I did not
Wow.
stop playing.
Oh my gosh.
But I was proud of myself. I was getting rounds. I was good at matches. Like, I was so into it. I love the new maps for this season. I'm obsessed with them. I love the bugs. I love that it's like an overhaul of the map in general. The issue everyone seems to be having is the way that they are matching up the games is they are not doing it by like experience. So you could be in a match and you're with all these people that I'm like, that can't be a real player. They're too good. This is insane. This is like a professional player. Yes, we're really screwing up on how they're putting matches together right now, which is kind of put a damper on a lot of it. But I mean, I can still win like the Blitz ones solo. Those are easy, but the Battle Royale, man, is a struggle right now.
Yeah, I think the thing for me with Fortnite is I was never able to wrap my head around the building, like building things.
I do no build. I do zero build.
Like you don't build when you're in the game?
There's options for every game where there's a build and then there's a zero build, and in zero build there is no building.
Oh. Okay, so they completely removed that from the system. Okay, that's cool.
I can't do build. It just that I already got too much to think about, and bye, miss. It was good to see you.
Good to see you. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Maybe I'll have to try that sometime, because that was the biggest thing for me. Is I'm just like I don't understand like this building thing. I can't do it fast enough, and
same. And there's no real way to like practice it unless you're in a game, which is so annoying. Like, let me practice it in like just a blank, game that I'm the only one in, so I can like practice how to do it. But it's already too much when I'm switching between the guns and reloading. And because the first season I started, there was no ammo. You just had infinite ammo. And so then when a new season came around, I was like, we have to get ammo? We have to now I gotta keep track of like, do I have any ammo for this gun? Do I need to go find it? Do I swap it out for a different one? But I love it. I have never been good at first-person shooter games, and I am very good at it now. At least compared to where I was before, and I dominate my husband and son. Like, they cannot keep up. So
wow, that is so cool. Well, I'm glad you got something that you're enjoying. I'll talk about what I've been playing in a minute, but the lead that I buried is that there's been a new season of Dexter that is out. And I have been watching that, and Sam, last night was the finale. Oh, it is so, I'm like, it's over. Like, well, not, the show as a whole isn't over, but the season is over. And I'm just like, this is something for the past 10 weeks. I've looked forward to it every single Friday, and I've enjoyed every single episode. And last night it was like, oh, that's it for like a year. Like, what am I gonna do?
Has it gone back to like the normal Dexter type of thing? Isn't Peter Dinklage in this one? Right?
Peter Dinklage is in it. He is kind of like, he's a big character, and he does a phenomenal job. He's such a good actor. I think, if you've watched enough Dexter, I think you could just go into this newest season and just kind of watch it. Maybe just watch a recap of New Blood if you haven't seen that. But it is one of the best seasons of television of all time, like of any show. Episode 9 it stands in like, it's like the top 5 or something of most highest rated episodes of television of all time, beating like Breaking Bad and a bunch of other things. It got a 9.9 on IMDb, which is like, how do you beat that? And so it's one of the most highest rated like seasons of television of all time. It's so good. I think it's way better than New Blood. Yeah, I've been floored this entire, like, every episode got better and better and better and better.
Really?
Yeah. So yeah, I've been enjoying that so much, and Nick Henderson and I have been doing podcast episodes on each episode that comes out. And it's just been so much fun. And before that was Original Sin, which is the prequel series with a whole new cast. Like, they're playing the same characters, but it's a younger
Yeah.
cast of actors. And that had gotten renewed for season 2. And so it was going to be really cool because we'd get Resurrection and then Original Sin every 6 months. So we'd
Oh, wow.
always have Dexter. But we just found out last week that Original Sin has been canceled.
Aw.
There was a merger at Paramount. They merged with Sundance, and the CEO or whatever from Sundance basically told the team, you can either keep Original Sin or you can keep Resurrection. And they
Mm-hmm.
chose to keep Resurrection.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really sad because it's like, man, we were doing so good. We would have had Dexter every 6 months. Are you kidding me? We would have had
Oh,
Dexter like this winter. Um, and so yeah, it's really really upsetting.
yeah.
But Resurrection did great. It had a fantastic finale that I think everybody was satisfied with.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, I can't wait for next season. It's gonna be amazing. So
That's awesome.
yeah.
I'll have to check that
Um, yeah, check it out. You gotta start watching Dexter again because there's so much good Dexter out right now. There's so many good Dexter things to catch up on.
Well, I've been painting a lot again, and so when I'm painting, I can like watch things. So I have been
Mm.
looking for new things to watch again. So I can definitely add that to my rotation. I also still have not watched the last season of Yellow Jackets, which I really need to
Oh
catch on.
God. Oh my God, you gotta watch that. That
Yeah,
is such a good season. It was
yeah.
so good. So good. Um, okay, so you brought up video games.
Hmm.
You've been playing Fortnite. I have been super deep into the Oblivion remake,
Hmm.
the Bethesda Oblivion remake.
Hmm.
Um, I kind of was like just playing it like a little bit at a time, like once a week or something. And then just like a week ago, I was looking for something to play, and I'm like, I'm just gonna open up Oblivion. And for whatever reason, since that day, I've played it every single night, and I just can't stop. I'm so deep into it. I'm having such a good time. Yeah, just been enjoying that a lot. But I have so many games that are like installed right now that I'm like, I don't know if I'm ever gonna like play more of them. And so I
Yeah.
need to just go through and like uninstall everything, keep the like 3 games that I'm playing, and just move on from some of the other ones that I've had installed forever. Uh, but in 5 days, we get Borderlands 4, and Gabe and I are going to completely lose our life to this game. And so
I've never
yeah,
played
it do,
Borderlands.
oh my God, it's so much fun with another person. Like, it is the best co-op game. Um, it's like a looter shooter. You the addiction is that you keep getting better and better guns,
Uh-huh.
and it feeds it to you in such a way where the guns, they're really exciting to find because there's a ton of them. There's like hundreds of them, and all of them have a different way of doing what they do. So like on some guns, you may, like, every time you reload, you throw the gun or you throw the magazine or whatever, and it launches like a robotic spider that fights for you.
Hmm.
Or if you reload, there'll be like this bouncing projectile that like goes all over the place and like hits all the enemies. So everyone has like a completely unique ability,
Mm-hmm.
besides just like the normal like firing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it makes it so much fun to be like, ooh, what is this one gonna do? Like, at like every time, like it could be like every time you reload it, it like spits money onto the ground that you can grab or whatever.
Yeah.
Like it could be all these really random side effects. So that's super fun, and just like the combat just feels really really good. It's just really there's something that's just like really satisfying about it, and I don't know how to really put it into
Yeah.
words. But it's so much fun. It's such a good time to play with a friend. It's one of those games where I'm like, I don't know. Like, I guess now that I'm into it, I might play it on my own. But the real like the best part of it is playing co-op with a friend. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's one that I really can't wait for. And that's only 5 days away. I was telling Gabe last night. I'm like, man, there's this other game that I really want to buy, but it's $70, and my $70 is spoken for Borderlands when it comes out in a few days. I'm like, I don't want to drop like $140 in one
Yeah.
month. Um, and so yeah, I'm super super
What's
stoked
the
for
other
that.
game?
It's Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a game that I missed because it's originally a like a PS2 game or a PS3 game. Um, but for whatever reason, I just kind of missed them, and I never played these games growing up. But now they've remade it much like the Oblivion remake, and it's got like really good graphics and like better, more modern gameplay, and everything's kind of been brought up to like modern times as far as
Mm-hmm.
controls and the look of it and everything. Um, and it's a very beloved game from people who like similar games to what I like. So I've been really wanting to play it, but yeah, these games are so pricey nowadays. I'm like,
They
I have
are
to I have to
bucket.
just pick like one new game every now and then. Otherwise, I got to get them used after they've been out for a while, cause or not used, but after they go on sale or whatever.
You just reminded me of another TV show I'm watching by saying all that. Heavy Metal, the one that's based off the video game. Have you been watching that?
No, what's that? Oh, you Twisted Metal?
Twisted Metal, that's it. Sorry, Twisted Metal. Yeah, the TV show is phenomenal, and the second season is
Really?
is um almost done right now. It's on Peacock, but it is. I love it. It's so funny. It's so campy in a way. Like that's
What what is it? Cause I've never understood like what Twisted Metal is.
so Twisted Metal was a video game, and it was just like a racing game. And
Okay.
so there was like this insane clown who has an ice cream truck, and this guy who puts his arms out, and there's wheels, and like all these like crazy characters. And the show just kind of, because you don't really get the context in the video game. It's just them trying to make like if that was the real world, like the world is kind of ended in a way, and there's no more governments or anything like that. And so we're finally getting into the second season about them gearing up to race and what the reason is
Okay.
that they're all going to race each other. But it's
Okay.
really good. It's
Oh,
really good.
neat.
Yeah,
Okay. What
you know,
what's it on?
it's on Peacock.
Okay, I'll
Yeah,
check it out. I'll
and it's
check it
like
out.
gory. It's not PG at all. It's R.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Cool. I'll check it out. I'll check it out. Shad Zaman, welcome in. How you doing, man? Um, okay, so what have we been reading?
I read a good book on vacation. It's not really up your alley. It was called Clytemnestra. It's about her story. It's like a Greek mythological retelling with like her, Agamemnon, Helen of Troy. I really enjoyed it. I blew through it. I could not put it down. Um,
Okay.
so that was a good read I've done. Like, I've been doing a lot of rereading, if I'm being honest. So
Yeah,
I don't
same.
really have like a ton of like new books I've been reading, but I've been also trying to get ready for all of our books that are coming out at the end of the year, the
Yeah.
follow-up. So I've been
Right.
re-listening to a lot of those, like The Will of the Many and Empire of
cool.
the Vampire and all of those. So
Oh, sweet.
yeah.
Have you been enjoying those rereads? Do you like them as much as when you first read them?
Yes.
Yeah.
I love them. I love them so much, but it's like bittersweet because it's like, okay, I just want the next book now. Like I just
Right.
want it, please.
I know. I'm probably gonna need a reread of the second book of Empire of the Vampire series. I'm gonna need a refresher on
Definitely, because
what
that
happens.
one's so different in the sense that it's like him and his sister telling the story, so you're getting all of her context.
Right.
So yeah,
Yeah,
definitely. And even The
sure.
Will of Money, you know what I mean? Like just because I need it to be fresh in my mind so I can try to catch any clues that are in there.
Right.
And this is the last Empire of the Vampire book, right? You said?
Yep.
Yeah.
This is the last one. I know.
I hope it's big because I just remember not being disappointed, but just like sad that the second book was so much shorter than the first book. I was like, no, you're supposed to get bigger. You don't get smaller, okay?
Was it shorter?
Oh, Empire of the Vampire, ready? This is Empire of the Vampire.
You're right.
And this is Empire of the or Empire of the Damned.
Oh my god, yeah.
It's so much smaller.
Weird.
Yeah, I remember being like, dude, this is like half the size of the last book. I need more.
Yeah, that is odd. I wonder why it was like that. Maybe just because like the first book, I mean, half of the first book was flashbacks.
Yep, that's true.
And now we're all caught up, so it's just his story going forward now.
That is true.
That could definitely be why. But
yeah, right. In the book too, it's really they're not going anywhere the whole time. They're just telling from flashbacks in book two. That's a good point.
Yeah.
I didn't think of that. Where book one went back and forth in a way that didn't make it seem like that.
Right.
Yeah. I was very jealous. I saw somebody post on the internet that they got a Goodreads like early copy of it.
Oh,
and I was so angry.
I know, yeah. I'm sure you could. Have you ever gone on NetGalley?
Or that's what it was, a NetGalley one, yeah, which
Yeah.
I have an account for, and I stopped doing it because if I got a book that I didn't like, I felt really bad about giving like a not great review, and it almost felt like too much pressure to me, so I just stopped doing it.
What?
Yeah.
Oh. We'll go on there and just request a copy of Empire of the Dawn, and then where it asks for your review, you just put the link to our video.
There you go. There you go.
So
that's a good idea. I might get away with it with that.
No, yeah, that's what I do for NetGalley all the time because I'm not actually like typing up a review.
Yeah.
I'm doing a video, so I just put the link to that. Yeah.
But for when I requested, I could show the videos we've done in the past and be like, this is why you should give it to me, because I'm sure it's a book where you have to be somebody who like does a lot to get it. You know what I mean? They're not just going to give it to somebody who it's like their first book they're wanting to review. And I've done some. I definitely have some I've done, but I can do our videos for the last two that we did.
Yeah, maybe even just go on to NetGalley on the Fantasy Files like account and get it that way. That might be good too. But anyways, so you've been rereading those. I went down a rabbit hole for a while. I read all of Red Rising, like literally from the first book into the next series, and finished Lightbringer. And I was just like hooked. For whatever reason, I had just gotten into it, and then I just like kept going and going and going and going. I was loving every second of it. I love that series so much. And I actually have a Red Rising tattoo kind of planned out as well. But I love that series. And so I just kept going and going, and it was phenomenal. It took me like maybe 2 months to get through everything. If not maybe a little bit longer. So that was a great time. I really enjoyed that. But then after finishing a big series like that, I was like, I need to switch genres for a
Mm-hmm.
minute. I'm like, I need to do something else. So I'm really into Dean Koontz or Harlan Coben. Not so much Stephen King, although I have read a little Stephen King. I'm not his biggest fan, but I really like Dean Koontz and those kind of authors. And so I picked up Harlan Coben's Stay Close, which is kind of like a suburban thriller. It's like every year somebody dies on this exact day. It's like the day of Mardi Gras. There's like a person that dies at a specific place on Mardi Gras every single year in this town.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and they can't figure out why. Someone always is seen going into this park or whatever, and then they're like never seen again, and they can never like find the bodies or whatever. And so then you're kind of introduced to a multitude of characters. You meet like the cop that is kind of on the case. You meet this like suburban housewife that isn't really happy being a housewife, and she used to be a stripper, and she misses like the freedom of like the nightlife and stuff. But she was like running from something, and she ended up settling down in the suburbs, and she loves it, but she kind of regrets it sometimes. And then you meet Ray, who is a photographer, and he kind of gets himself into situations where, um, I don't know, I don't want to spoil too much, but he has like incriminating pictures on his camera. And so he so it's kind of the story of like these three characters kind of intertwining, and then in the mix there's this serial killer duo that is on the hunt and like just killing all these people in like crazy like gruesome ways, and they're called Barbie and Ken because they're like blonde, blue-eyed, like preppy looking, like they look like church going people, whatever. Um, and they are like they're some of like the best villains I've read in like the thriller genre because they are so creepy because they're so like nice and pleasant, but they're also like carving your flesh off your body, like just really like gruesome shit. Or like they like burn people in weird ways, and oh dude, it's crazy. So they're fantastic villains, and then you're the whole time you're trying to figure out these three POV characters. I mean, you get POVs with Barbie and Ken, but like the three like good characters, you're kind of trying to figure out how they all fit together, like how they would all know each other.
Mm-hmm.
And you get little clues that lead you to certain revelations that is just so good. Like it all, by the end, it all kind of like perfectly interlocks. And you're like, oh, I see the whole picture now.
Yep.
And it's so good. So I highly recommend it. And then I also read another of his books, and I'm also I'm due to pick up another one of his because this was like a couple months ago. Um, I read his book Tell No One, and I think this one's even better than Stay Close. And it's about this guy who is young-ish. He's probably like in his early 30s, but he got married when he was really young, like right out of high school. There was this girl that he grew up with, and ever since they were like 13, they've been inseparable. And they started dating at a very young age, stayed dating all the way through high school, all the way through college. Got married while they were in college. Um, and and then we're living a very happy life. And the first scene is him and his wife. They're like 21 or whatever, and they're like went out to this cabin for like a little staycation type thing, and he's in the water and she's on the shore, and they're like about to go skinny dipping, and all of a sudden he just hears somebody attack her, and she's like basically beaten to death. And so he comes running up, and her parents come out, and he gets hit with a bat, so he actually blacks out. And then when he wakes up, he's in the hospital. He finds out his wife is dead, and he finds out that the family went to the morgue, and they like, looked at the body, and they were like, yes, this is our daughter and all that. And so then they had this whole funeral. She was buried, everything, right? So she's dead. And then later, it's like a 10-year time jump or something. And he starts getting these weird emails from someone. They don't say a name or anything, but in the emails, they're including little things that only him and his wife knew about. Like, nobody else would know these little things. Like, she references kiss time, which is like the first time that they kissed. It was like at 6 o'clock or whatever, so they call it kiss time. And just all these like stupid, like little inside things. And this like keeps happening, and he's like, nobody else should be able to know like we have never done any of this stuff in front of anybody else. Like, this is all like highly private things. And he like keeps getting them, and then he kind of unravels this conspiracy around her death. Like who were these guys that killed her? Like, they never caught them, or they caught the wrong guy, or whatever. And oh man, I wish I could tell you like the larger premise without giving too much away, but it is one of the, like, when the twist happens, I was audibly like, oh my God, like, holy crap. It was like a like brain blast moment. So I highly recommend it. And yeah, it was very, very good. So needless to say, I went down this kind of like suspense thriller rabbit hole. And I started just reading like a bunch of these kind of books. And then eventually I went to ChatGPT, and I was like, hey, what would you recommend for like these specific things I'm looking for? And this was actually really cool because, Dexter had just started, and I was rewatching the original series of Dexter. And I'm like, I want something that's set in like Miami. I want something that is like kind of noir, maybe like a private investigator that's like got his own flaws and gray morality and stuff like that. And ChatGPT was like, here's all the books with, a morally gray PI in Miami. And so I had all these recommendations, and so I'm just like going down this list. The one thing I was really pissed about was there was one recommendation called The Memory Hunter. And one of my favorite things ever is the idea of the Mandela effect.
Yeah, I love it.
I love that so much. I eat it up anytime a video pops up on my YouTube that's talking about the Mandela effect. I immediately watch it. And this book was about a private investigator with PTSD who ends up having this client who believes that her memories are being altered, like not like forgotten, but her memories are actually being altered into other memories. And she can't figure out what's going on. And so it's kind of got that Dean Koontz techno thriller kind of thing, like experiment gone wrong kind of thing. And so I'm like, this sounds awesome. I'm so ready for this book. And ChatGPT is telling me about it, right? And so I go to look up the book, and I'm not seeing anything. I'm not seeing anything on Amazon. I'm not seeing anything anywhere. And so I go back to ChatGPT, and I'm like, I can't find this book. Is it like a rare book, or does it not have like an audiobook, or like how do I find this book? And ChatGPT says, I'm sorry, it appears I made this book up. I combined elements of several other books and made up this book.
Are you serious? Like, what
And
is that?
I'm so pissed. I was so ready for this book, and you just completely fucked me. Um,
Okay.
I was so I was so upset. And so then, so if anybody else asked ChatGPT for recommendations, I ended up having to do this, and then I had perfect success from there on. I had to make sure to tell it in the original prompt, like provide a link for where I can get this book.
Yeah, there
Be-
you go.
because if it can provide a link, then it's a real book. Um, but otherwise, I was like, dude, I'm so pissed. This book sounded so cool. I was so ready for it. It's a fucking fake book. I'm
Oh
like,
my
oh
god.
my God.
I would be so pissed. I would be so
Yeah, yeah. I was
pissed.
upset. I was upset. Oh,
Oh, that's too
man.
funny.
Yeah. So then I read all of the, well, not all, I haven't finished all of them. I had to take a little bit of a break. But I started reading all of the Dexter books,
Oh,
like the original books by Jeff Lindsay, because the show is based off a book series. Um, and they're kind of nothing alike. The books are very different than the show. Dexter is a much darker character in the books, if you can imagine that. He's much more like very like typical psychopath.
mm-hmm.
Um, and like he doesn't really like have feelings at all. Like the show kind of like dresses him up a little bit
Mm-hmm.
to, you know, make you care about him, and he has
Yeah.
feelings. Like he does, you know, he does love Rita in the show and stuff like that. But in the books, he's not like that at all. Like he's like a serial killer. Like he is a he is like a true psychopath. And he actually he doesn't kill his victims the same way in the books either. He uses like a cord around their neck, and like because he doesn't do like the M99, he doesn't have like the tranquilizer, and
Mm-hmm.
so he like puts a cord around their neck and like gets them over to the table, and then he basically like tortures them to death. Like he just starts like cutting off pieces of them,
Yeah.
and then that's like how they die. And so it's like way darker. There's plenty of humor. Like there's still like a dark
Yeah.
comedy aspect to it. But and like all the characters are almost the exact same except for Dexter. Like all of the characters, like the show stayed really true to who they are, which I thought was really cool.
Did
Um,
you enjoy him? How many did you read?
I read four,
Oh, wow.
and yeah, I liked them a lot. I think each one was great. Another big difference is there's like a supernatural aspect. Like Dexter's like dark passenger is like a
Yeah.
real demonic like god
Oh,
that
that's
is like
interesting.
yeah. And so I thought that was kind of cool. Some people don't really like that, but I thought it was interesting.
I think that's interesting. But I could
Yeah.
almost understand why they would like leave it out of the show because they want the show to be more based in reality than like
Yeah,
fantasy.
yeah, make it a little more grounded for
Yeah.
sure. And so yeah, I totally understand why the show went that route. But yeah, these are definitely like there is a real like demonic god that you meet, and like you like he's on page.
Yeah.
And he's not like standing in the corner of Dexter's room, like he's inside him, but there are times where you get to like meet it basically.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it's really interesting.
That reminds
Um,
me of this like book series I read, and it was like called The Dwarves, and you follow this like character called Tungdal, and it's he grew up in the human world even though he was a dwarf, and it's all about his quest to find like where did he come from, who is his family, all of that. And while like it's he finds dwarves, and then there's elves, there's good elves, there's bad elves, it's got magic, wizards.
yeah.
It's a little more lighthearted than when you read there's a second series that follows the dark elves. They're called the Alfar. And
Oh,
when I tell you I've never read a book where like the bad elves were as bad as these elves. Like, they skin people and then they use their blood as like the paint, and like they are horrific. But the way that, like, when I went to read it, I was thinking like, oh, this is going to be kind of in the same vein as like the dwarf book. Holy crap, was it so much darker? It was great. It was phenomenal.
Man. I'm gonna check this out. What's the second series?
This is the thing. Keep in mind, it could be hard to find because it's from a German author.
Oh, okay.
Hold on, I have this is the first one. Look at that. It's called Legends of the Alfar. The first one is Righteous Fury. It's Marcus Heights.
Okay.
Yeah. They are so good. And you would think like, oh, these are going to be really dark. There's nothing like that's going to be like light about it in any way. But no, they still managed to like add that in it. But they are the darkest type of elves I've ever read about in my life. It was very good. And the dwarf series is good too. I read that first. This one might make more sense if you've read the dwarves, but it's not like necessary in any way because it's kind of its own complete different storyline.
Okay.
And I've never had anybody I know who has read them because ours is like translated from the original German. I forgot how I found out about it. Oh, that was from my friend in Philly. There was this guy who came to our bar. You should read his dwarf series. It is very, very good. And he had read the dwarves and he was like, dude, you got to read this series. There's these dark elves and man, they are dark.
Oh, wow. Okay, cool. I will check that out for sure. That's awesome. Yeah, I didn't know about that at all. I've been looking for because my favorite like race to play in Bethesda games is the Dark Elf. And so I love kind of the lore behind them, just like these really nasty elves.
Well, and the dwarves is even a good series to start on because they are in the dwarves series, like they are the dark elves. You just don't get any of their point of view at any time, and this is strictly the dark elves' point of view in that series. But the dwarves one is really good because you still get like Tungdal's an outsider, the main character, and he falls in love with this other female dwarf, but because he was not born of like in their lives and stuff, there's all these prejudices, and it's really good. In the story that starts in book one, you think, oh, this is what's going to be like the arc for all 4 books. I think there's 4. And no, it wraps up everything in book 1 with that, and then there's a new thing that happens in book 2, and so it doesn't get stale. It's not boring. It's not slow. And there's a lot of travel in them, and you would think, oh, am I gonna have to read like 50 pages of them like walking from point A to point B? No, they kind of like keep those really short and brief, and unless something happens. But yeah, I love those series.
Awesome. Okay, I will check that out for sure. Sweet. Okay. Last thing I have here is I read Memory Man by David Baldacci. Have you read any Baldacci? He's kind of like a Dean Koontz, I guess. And this is about a detective who has an eidetic memory, like a photographic memory. And he got like hit on the head when he was younger. He was like a football player. And ever since then, like numbers, it's something like numbers and emotions he like sees in color. Mm-hmm. So like he like so anything around like his wife or family or anything is like blue. And also like colors mean, I'm only like halfway through it, but like colors mean like a certain number too. And these things are kind of like connected in a way that like doesn't quite make sense to the reader, but makes sense to him. And it makes him like a perfect detective because he's able to see things, like visually see things that are similar that like other people may not catch up on, but he's seeing them in like different colors.
He's got really good like pattern recognition.
Like pattern recognition and stuff like that. And so it's really, really cool. The driving force being that he came home one day, and his wife and daughter were like brutally murdered. And he's kind of been he like quit the force, and then he started up as like a private investigator, and then there's been some things that are going on that are like similar to how his wife died, and so the force is bringing him on as like a hired private investigator to like solve it. And it's really good. Like every chapter there's like a new reveal, and I'm just like, "Oh man, how did he figure that out?" And it doesn't get explained away as like, oh, he's really smart, so he just like figured this out.
Uh-huh.
Like the book has a way of like giving you the puzzle pieces, and
Mm-hmm.
then so like they're there, but then he like puts them together and figures it out. So it doesn't the revelations don't feel like they come out of nowhere. It feels like you're given the information and he just kind of figures it out.
Yeah.
And so that I really like it for that reason. But yeah, it's fantastic. And then we get to the point where I'm getting ready for my tattoo, right? And so I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, I gotta read like one book of King's Dark Tidings just to like get stoked for this tattoo and everything. And then I just kept going and going and going. So now I'm doing a big reread of
Yeah.
the whole King's Dark Tidings
Yeah.
series. And I'm actually planning a video because the new book comes out November 11th. I want to put out a video like here's not like a super in-depth recap, but like here's all of the big things you need
Mm-hmm.
to know for the new book that's coming
Yeah.
out.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that'll be a fun video. I'm like, I might as well make content out of this big
Yeah.
reread that I'm doing. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm taking notes and kind of figuring out a way to put that video together.
That'll be
But
awesome.
yeah, so yeah, that's what I've read. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, I've listened to so many rereads lately. I've been rereading what is it called? Hold on, I gotta look at my Audible because I've been listening to them. Like the what's his name? Michael J.
Oh
Sullivan,
yeah.
the Raira books, which I loved. It's one of those things though, like where have you had books you read and you're glad you read them at the time you read them because
Yes.
you've kind of gotten, I don't want to say like more advanced in your reading, but you're like, I don't know if I would appreciate it now reading it the first time that I appreciated it 6 years
I'm
ago.
I'm so glad that you said that because there's so many people like when we started the podcast, everybody was saying you got to read the Michael J. Sullivan books.
Yeah.
And I started to, but by that point, I think a lot of the people that recommend them read them when they were maybe younger or like earlier on in their fantasy reading.
Mm-hmm.
Because by the time I got to them, I was like, I'm like, I get it, but these are so basic. I'm like, these are such like basic fantasy books. And it doesn't mean they're bad. Like there's basic fantasy books that I love.
Mm-hmm.
But at the time it just like wasn't clicking for me.
Mm-hmm.
And also at the time I was looking for I was a fan of like Night Angel and Lies of Locke Lamora, and I'm like, what are other books with like thieves in them? And they're like, oh well, Royce and Hadrian are thieves, and they do this thing. And I think I read three of the books because I think it was three audiobooks with two books in each thing,
They
right?
used to be like individuals, and then he like combined like two for each
Yeah,
one of the. I think it's the Revelations. I can't remember if it's Revelations or Chronicles. I have all of them.
yeah.
But yeah, they're like together.
Yep,
Mm-hmm.
yep. And I think I made it through like three or four. Like I gave it a good try. But at the end of it, I was like, man, they stole like one thing, the entire story. Like, I don't know. I know there's like a prequel series that shows them when they were younger, so maybe that's when they're doing more of their like thievery. But
Yeah.
in the books that I read, there was like one time where they like snuck into a mansion and stole a sword.
So
And
it starts out where they steal a letter, and then this guy comes to them and is like, "Yeah, go steal the sword," and
right.
that starts this whole domino effect of other things they have to do. But yeah, they mention in those all of these other past big things they've done. And the prequel ones I don't recommend reading unless you read these first. You know what I
okay.
mean?
Okay.
So I think you were reading it in the right order. But yeah,
Okay.
you don't get like the heist things really unless you
Yeah.
read the prequel ones.
Yeah. So are there heists in the prequels then?
The prequel ones, each book. Oh, there's my Forbes book right next to them. Is each one is one of their major heists that they mention in the original books. So
Okay.
each one is its own heist.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, sick.
Uh-huh. Yeah, so I can see how, like, if you're going into it as, like, I want a heist book, that
Yeah.
you're like, oh. But I do love the buddy comedy of
Yeah.
the other ones. It's very
Yeah.
similar to Lies of Locke Lamora in that sense.
Yeah, that was good. I liked the two of them together.
Yeah.
But yeah, everything else around it, I was like, I came here for like a big heist,
Yeah.
and I'm getting like fantasy epic adventure, which is also fine, but it's just not what I expected.
Yeah. They do have my favorite quote ever from a book. It was in my old Twitter account. Like, it was like the thing that I had pinned to like the top.
Okay.
It was one of those things that was like unexpected, but like this guy was just somebody was grieving and his friend was telling him like, you know, when you're grieving, the quote was just so phenomenal. It's always resonated with me. So it does have like these also unexpected, really great little, you know, like sprinkles thrown in there as well. So I do look back fondly on them, but I do not know if I read it today for the first time if I would feel the same
Sure.
way.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So I'm sorry, you were saying you've been rereading these?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. I just needed something at work because work's really picking up again right now. And I needed something that was almost like you have a TV show on in the background that you've watched a million times where I could zone in and out and not be like, crap, I need to go back like 5 minutes. I just zoned out of what it was reading to me.
Right.
So it's been nice because I've just re-listened to some of my books way too many times that I was like, all right, what's one I haven't listened to in a while?
Right. Yeah. That's kind of how I am with King's Dark Tidings. I'm like, I can just put that on in the background and I know what's going on in any given scene. So
that's me with A Deadly Education. I can't tell you how many
go.
times I've listened to that one over and over again.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Cool. So does that kind of wrap up what you've been reading?
Yeah,
Awesome.
pretty much. I'm hoping to really, you know, jump back into some new stuff. I had paused my Book of the Month subscription for a while because I wasn't reading any of them, and I was like, I keep paying for this, and I keep getting new books, but I'm not reading them, so maybe I should like pause for a moment.
Yeah.
And then when I went on vacation, I took a couple of them with me, and one of them was that Clytemnestra book, and I just love a Greek mythological, you know, retelling, and it was really good. I mean, I don't want to ruin any of it, but like the main story is Clytemnestra marries this like king that comes to her land, and then another ruler comes to her land and decides he wants her, so he murders her baby that she just had and her husband, and her father says, yeah, you're gonna go be his wife now.
Wow.
And so it's a really, really good story, just of like trying to put yourself in her shoes. Is like, what if I was married and just had a baby, and this guy comes in and kills my husband and newborn baby boy, and then my dad is like, yeah, you're going to marry him.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That'd be awful.
It was fantastic. So I just love a good mythological retelling because people were freaking insane back in those times.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Okay, cool. Well, I am looking forward to going through the Farseer trilogy. That is, I had a great time with the first two books. And again, I haven't read the third book yet, so that'll be happening like new and fresh on the podcast. And it'll all be new and fresh for Gabe. Oh, Gabe said he's been reading one of his series that I really wanted to give a shout out that I'm going to be starting soon. Gabe says he's been reading the Convergence series by Craig Allenson, and this is a urban fantasy series inspired by the Dresden Files. And Gabe just called me yesterday. He's like, hey, I got to tell you about this. He's like, I started book 2, and they mention Harry Dresden in this book. They were like two characters were arguing about if angels are real or not, and one of the characters was like, "Well, Harry Dresden's a wizard and he's met angels, so like they're real." And it was just a really cool like crossover moment. And so yeah, I thought that was really interesting. I want to. It seems like Gabe is really into it, so I want to start
Yeah.
that series. um, Gabe also has finally made his way through Red Rising,
Nice.
and he's made it into like the second series, and so he's kind of like reading a book of that and then going on to something else, then coming back to a book of that, and kind of going back and forth. Um, and then he's been rereading Dungeon Crawler Carl, which when I was visiting Seattle and hanging out with him, he had Dungeon Crawler Carl playing in his car, so that was fun.
Yeah, that's the best.
Yeah. Cool. So we have a lot of good stuff coming up. Assassin's Apprentice. We got the new Jay Kristoff book, Strength of the Few. We got just like Shad says here, there's a new King's Dark Tidings coming in November 11th for both that and Strength of the Few. So yeah, we'll have a busy winter here, and it'll be a great time. So let us know down in the comments if there's anything else that you guys would like us to read and cover on the channel, and we'll try to work that in. But with all that said, our links are down in the description. We got Twitter, we got Discord, we got Patreon, where you can watch these episodes live as we record them, just like Nova did, just like Shad Saman is doing here. You guys can chat with us while we record and bring up questions, or things like Shad's like, hey, there's a new KDT coming out. Like, it's always fun to communicate with you guys while we're doing the podcast live, so definitely hop in there. And then we have Patreon, and then SpeakPipe, where you can leave us a voice message that we will play on the podcast and respond to. So that'll be a ton of fun. All right, guys. Well, with all that said, we will see you in the next episode. Thank you so much for joining us. Bye.